Day. Calls. I'm sorry. Okay. How is everyone today? Also, I have a question. Since the name that I gave to my followers, my community, is Alchemist, do you want me to like call you that? Like when I start, like instead of like everyone, like how are you all alchemists? I was thinking about that. Like, do you prefer me to say that? To feel like more our thing. I don't know. I'm just asking. Whatever. How is everyone today? I know that Kobe ate. I hope that Cake is resting. And don't forget to eat too. And today we are going to keep playing Cinderella Phenomenon. I'm going to advance in some more chapters of Waltz, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to finish today because, as usual, now kind of usual doing versus streams like 1 hour and a half, 2 hours. So that's the plan for now. I don't know if anyone will join, to be honest. It's fine because people is busy, so I'm just going to do my own thing and try to keep myself warm. Please, everyone, keep yourself warm. If you live on the North Hemisphere, if you are living on the South, it's almost summer for you, so drink lots of water. Thank you. Okay, let's. Almost went for the wrong screen. So here and here and continue. Almost certainly okay. I'm on chapter 5, so probably like we will end on like 6, 7, depends on how fast I can go. To fix it. We all freeze at the sound of a voice. I turned and found an all too familiar figure leaning against the doorway, a mischievous grin on his face. What a sweet little reunion, Varg. I think I said it wrong, but okay. Oh. Oh, I didn't finish last stream because I thought, oh. I'm still finish the shit. Please come back for you. Wait. Okay. I told you what came back for you, didn't I? Varg taps his can on the floor, creating a shockwave of powerful energy that blasts us all across the room. The impact of the magic forces me against the wall. I collapse to my knees, pain trembling in my head. I can collapse somewhere near me, and I hear the crack of the box as it lands on the ground a few feet away from us. Waltz holds out his hand. I take it, and he helps me back to my feet. Oh my god, I'm already dying. Diana, are you alright? Yes. Diana? The king looks at me quizzically, but his gaze does not linger. He looks toward Varg, his eyes narrowed. Did the king remember who I was? Your Majesty, are you hurt? The king shakes his head at Waltz before turning his attention to Varg, his eyebrows forward. Who is this man? Your Majesty, this person is working for the Wicked Witches. What? Wait, what happened to Jury and Garland? They were just outside the door. Oh, it's not me. Oh, wait a minute. I just don't like having message for it. Oh. And this also thanks for the next book that I'm going to bring a surprise for you all. So, it's me, Alex. Wait, I need my glove. It's cold. I can't type in the phone. What did it do to them? Bart cocks his head to the side. Ooh, the guards just outside this door. I'm sure that they must have hid themselves when they saw the king coming to this room, but they still should have been able to see Var coming. Guards? I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about, princess. Vark seems like he's telling the truth, but I cannot trust him. Please, let him be safe. I see Neverland a few feet from us. I can try to grab it, but Vark will probably throw me attempts with magic. I have to wait for an opening. I'll distract him. While I do that, the both of you need to run. What? I Vark. He looks at the three of us, his lips slightly quivered, as if he is amused. This isn't time to argue with me, Diviana. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to help you. The play with him is a wise answer because we are just like unlocking his powers. No. Diviana, you must prioritize the king's safety. I will help you. I do not know how, but I must do something. But we are in this together, Walt. I am not going to run away while you sacrifice yourself for us. Walt's disapproval is clearly written on his face, but he eventually sighs out, seeming to let it go. You're too stubborn for your own good. So I've been told. You're welcome, Alex. I turned to the king and placed a hand on his shoulder. Your Majesty, leave this to us. You have to escape somewhere safe. This does not involve the king. It is me that Varg wants, after all. The king shakes his head, and as he removes my hand from his shoulder, he stands up and moves in front of us before pulling his sword from his... I never say that. Your Majesty, what kind of king would I be if I stood back and allowed two children to protect me? Varg looks amused by our conversation. You know that I'm not letting you get away this time, princess. It doesn't matter who stands in my way. Father, his skin is enchanted. You cannot hold him with just a blade. Father? I'm at loss of words. It has been a long time since I called him that. Much to my surprise, the king's lips pulls into a soft smile. Yeah, I'll be down for it if you want. I'm just on my server. I wanna call with that some people can join, so if you want and if you can, feel free to join. Kobe know that he can also join if he's still there, if it wasn't on bed. Like everyone who wants to voice act or just chill can join. Hey, don't worry about it. And tomorrow I'm not streaming though. But thank you for the offer. And yeah, technically if you sleep, isn't it like midnight for you, Alex? Nice to. Oh, thank you for the stretch. bones cracked. So that's so that at the gate that one day, when you were seeking an audience with me. I have not been able to forget that day. Before I can say anything in return, a familiar smooth voice breaks the ensuing silence. Oh, I wonder where all these voices are coming from. A familiar man steps into the doorway, inspects everyone in the room quietly. Mitros. Her Majesty? Quickly, summon the knights. We have an intruder in the palace. He gestures at Varg, who looks unperturbed. Intruder, you say? Demetrius turns to Varg. At first, his expression is impassive, then slowly his lips begin to edge into a slight smile. You're such a ruffian, Varg. Look at all of this property destruction. I can only gap at Sir Mitros in shock. If he knows Varg, then he must certainly affiliate with the witches. You know this man? Explain yourself, Mitros. We are all turned off guard by Sir Mitros laughing. Soon, his laugh becomes a mad cackle. There is a strange brightness in his eyes that sends shivers on my spine. My apologies, Your Majesty. I am just amused at my servant's atrocious behavior. At ease, Varg. Oh, please save your batteries and data and whatever else that you have on that can run out of battery. Please rest. I know it's Friday, but rest. Demetrius gestures at Varg, a silent comment to lower his cane. Varg obeys him before moving to a corner of the room and leaning against the wall with disinterest. Don't worry, Your Majesty. You're not the one we're after. What? Demetrius turns his sly smile on me, and I instinctively take a step back. The princess is the lady we need to escort. Escort? Princess? This girl is a princess? That is correct. It is a shame you can't remember your own daughter, even though she stands right in front of you. Enough with your vagueness. Explain yourself. The king's grip on the hilt of his sword tightens. I am not obligated to explain everything to you. Try thinking on your own for a chance, Your Majesty. Mitros! Demetrius ignores the king's outburst and turns his attention to Waltz. He visibly stiffens, and his slight smile contours into a grimace. And look who we have here. I see that the traitor has returned to the palace. Waltz stares at him, looking puzzled, so Demetrius tilts his head to the side and offers Waltz a lopsided smile. You still look the same as you did back then. I did not think it was possible for you to grow any weaker, Waltz Cresswell. Mistress? I see. Waltz suddenly looks melancholic and as it stares at Sir Mitros. Waltz, what is going on? This man's real name is Mid, and he is a witch, same as me. It appears that he has been using a powerful glamour to conceal his real identity. If I hadn't been cursed, I would have been able to tell right away. I would not give yourself so much credit, Cresswell. Waltz narrows his eyes, but says nothing. I glance between the two of them, confused. But how do you know him? He secretly worked for our mother, practically worshipped her. I was the only other person who knew of his existence as a witch outside of the Tenebran Barrow. A witch? I trusted you, Mitros. The king says the words through gritted teeth, his face contorted in anger. Demetrius flicks a wrist. It is a dismissive gesture. and he still looks amused. What a hypocrite you are, your majesty. He eyes Waltz. You are willing to play nice with some witches but not others. This bias is what drove us witches into madness in the first place. Demeter's faces the king with a grin. You human hypocrites are so easy to manipulate, it is pathetic. Mitros! Let me just check something on Discord, please. Okay, my noise suppression is on. Strange. Whatever. The king charged through Sir Mitros with his sword held high. Your Majesty, don't! The king's sword never touched Sir Mitros. Sir Mitros only has to hold out his hand, and suddenly an invisible force pushes the king back. He crashes into one of the shelves, knocking down my dolls. Your Majesty! I quickly run to his side to help him up. Thankfully, he does not seem to have any major wounds. I think there was a witch working in the palace the whole time, and not the good kind of witch either. I was too careless. Rejoice, Your Majesty. I still have some more surprises for you. I'll never forgive the betrayal, Mitros. Betrayal? I'm afraid we have been played for a fool this entire time, Your Majesty. My loyalty has always been reserved for Lady Hildur, and no one else. Mate, I can't imagine what would you hope to gain from all of this. Hildur is long gone. Sir Mitros' eyes flash as he turns a severe glare at Waltz. His voice is seething with venom when he speaks. Had it not been for you, traitor, she would still be here. The king mentioned Waltz's betrayal. Demetrius called him a traitor. What exactly did Waltz do? Demetrius beckons before with a gesture of his hand. Now, if you please, princess, come with us. If you want them to get hurt. Waltz immediately stands in front of me. I won't let you take her. In your current form, you don't stand a chance. I'll make certain that you never break your curse, Waltz. This whole thing was a setup, a trap. I'm sorry, Waltz. This is my fault. No, it was mine. The reason we came was to break my curse. My eyes once again flit to the box on the floor. Neverland is just a few steps away from me. Neverland. Waltz's eyes follow mine to the box. He leans back and whispers to me. You have to get the box and break the curse. I feel for the key inside my pocket. If Waltz's true magic is indeed sealed in that box, then releasing it might give us a chance at victory. And Mitros and Park do not seem to have caught onto the fact that the object that will break Waltz's curse is right at their feet. Okay. The king moves and stands beside Waltz and draws his sword again, his body a shield. Your Majesty, I'll not let you take this girl. You will have to go through me first. You can't do this. Viviana, I've always loved that name. I thought if I ever had a daughter, I'll give her that name. Magic makes even the impossible possible. You must truly be my daughter, yes? Tears start to blur my vision. Oh, all this disgusting touching. It seems as if I will just have to deal with you first. No! I rush through the box at the same moment Mitros casts his spell. Varg lunges toward me, his hand reaching for me. But it is too late. By the time he grabs me, I have already inserted the key into Neverland. I give it one definite twist and hear the click of the box as it pops open. White flashes through the room, blinding me. Suddenly, I feel a strong arm around me, holding me tightly, protectively. When I open my eyes, it is what I see, even severely all years older. I still recognize him. Waltz? I love this music. Hey there, little star. Seems like the tide has turned a bit. Waltz grins, and I see a confidence in his expression that I have never seen before. Sermitrus' frown has only become more severe. Oh, I will show you that I was the favorite apprentice. Be careful not to hurt the Princess Mitros. Varg's voice is almost teasing, but Sir Mitros does not seem to care. Don't plan on it. Sir Mitros gestures his hands in a sweeping gesture, beginnings of a spell gathering at his fingertips. Waltz look at me and smiles reassuringly. Now, when I say that I can protect you, Dihan, I definitely can. Waltz holds out his hand just before Sir Mitros' magic reaches us. An invisible barrier suddenly appears in front of us, thwarting Sir Mitros' magic. Seems like I'm not as rusty as I thought I would be. Waltz snaps his fingers and effortlessly creates a dark wave that pushes both Sir Mitros and Varg to the wall. Let's go. What we do now? The Order of Caldera. They are sworn to an oath of protection. We can rely on them. No, we can't. Waltz glanced down the hallway, his mouth drawn in a tight line. I see clear suspicion in his eyes. I look back at the king. The knights should have been here by now. Surely such a commotion should have brought them running. Now I know why Waltz is staring down the hallway. He's searching for the knights that are meant to pass through here. There is no possible way they did not hear the skirmish in my bedroom. The three of us push onwards and stand between the king and Waltz waiting. I'm not entirely sure what I am waiting for, but I can feel the tension in the air. We only stop moving when a voice cuts through the silence. Your Majesty! Shalcaster stops before us with a group of knights. His face is impassive at best. Waltz takes a step back as Sir Alcaster looks to the king. The king is quiet for a few moments, his eyebrows drawn together in a terse expression. He finally speaks. Sorry. Don't like notifications. Like the notifications. I'm in a state of emergency. Where have we been? Who's that? Still on the knights in front of us when I hear footsteps from behind us. An unpleasant when a dozen knights appear from the shadows and surround us. I look at Fritz in the cluster of knights. But he is not there. Here. The king stares around him, baffled. What is the meaning of this? Could this be the reason why? What is happening? That voice. We all turn to watch the dining room doors open. Ophelia enters with Emmeline and Rod. Several knights trail behind and flank them on either side, giving them no room for escape. Rod notices me and stares in shock, but says nothing. Gennaro. The minute she sees the king, she calls his name and attempts to run toward him. The knights only need to raise their swords and block her path to stop her. I think that takes care of all the intruders. Though I'm not happy that two managed to escape. Two? Shireen and Garland? If they manage to escape, they might be able to get reinforcements. The king will be judged and convicted. His crown will be given to one more worth it. See, it was you sent that letter, Alcaster. That is correct. Now, if you want to protect your family, we'll hand over your crown. The king shakes it with rage. Was this yours and Mitro's plan all along? Take down this kingdom at its heart? Alcaster snorts and crosses his arms. Not clump me together with that sneak. Both of us have different goals. It just happens that we both needed to get rid of you. What? You are a weak king, General. The kingdom of Angiel needs someone who will rule with an iron fist. You are too soft, and so your subjects have become too dependent on the kingdom. And how do you propose I run my kingdom? By instilling fear. Of fear in this kingdom. It is a ruler's obligation to assuage the fears of his people. I cannot believe that you would do this, Sir Alcaster. Alcaster looks at me with interest. Deviant, correct? I have no business with you, but I suppose Mitros does. We have been backed into a corner. What do we do? I feel for my pocket, my hand touching the smooth surface of a vial. I can still remember the potion that Parfait gave me before we left. I had forgotten I had this with me. Parfait told me to use the potion if we found ourselves in a difficult situation. She said it would give us time to escape. She did not even tell me what it was. It does. I glanced at Waltz, who is eyeing the knights quietly. But it is also possible that Waltz would be able to do something about this situation with his magic. Don't notice the use of orifice. I reach into my pocket and slip the vial out. I open my fingers just long enough for Waltz to see it. He gives me a subtle nod before turning his attention to Alcaster, who is still speaking with the king. I will make you regret your actions, Alcaster. I throw the vial to the floor. The moment it shatters, blindly white light envelops the room, forcing my eyes to close. Waltz grabs my hand and pulls me away. Don't let them escape! I hear a few grunts from the knights as Waltz begins to barrel his way through them. Waltz leads me into the throne room. We all have somehow made it out. Rod stands in between Ophelia and Emmeline. Rod must have pretty good eyes to be able to let them both out of there in all that chaos. Good job back there, Diviana. I never realized you had a potion. Parfait gave it to me before she left on our urgent meeting. It's a good thing then. You saved me by using it. You know, using a more complicated spell would have drained my energy. Why is this happening? Emmeline's eyes are filled with tears. Ophelia takes her into her arms and drops her back in an effort to calm her. This is my fault. How could I have not foreseen this? Shurian was right about him. I should have listened to her. It is not your fault, Your Majesty. We don't have much time. We need to escape and tell Lady Parfait about it. It sounds like Jury and Garland were able to escape. It is possible they will soon bring reinforcements. Rod, you know these people? Rod is silent for a few moments before nodding at her. Yes, they're my friends. Friends? Rod just shrugs at me. More than likely, he just wants us to play along. I'll space the room, arms crossed as he tries to think of something. Waltz? I haven't done this in a long time, but I can try to open a portal that leads back to the Martian. Witches can do that. Only the most proctrices witches. It only works if they have a clear image of where they want to go. So you can do it? can. I was just taught by your mother, after all. Starts waving his hand in front of him as he conjures a spell to open the portal, but the portal disappears as soon as it appears and fades again. Damn it. They are coming, worlds. I'm doing my best, princess. Gambare! Starts to cast the spell again. This time the opening appears and stays. I did it. But this won't be open for long. Your Majesty, you must go first. No, let Ophelia and the children go first. Waltz nods as he ushers Ophelia and Emmeline into the portal. But Rod is reluctant to step inside. I force him into the portal before me. I can't keep the portal open much longer, Diviana. I can't manage one more person before I need to recast it. Your Majesty, you must go. No. What? I do not have any intention of leaving. To leave this place is to abandon my kingdom. I will not flee like a coward. I will protect my throne until my last breath. But that would be suicide. He will not kill me. He might have managed to sway the order, but I have the people on my side. Killing me will cause an uprising, and that is the last thing he will want. But if the king escapes, he will be able to fight from the outside. The castle and his crown are symbols, but he's in danger if he stays here alone. I glance at Walt and notice him paling. I can't tell the magic is sapping his strength, making him weaker. I bow my hands into fists. I cannot leave the king here by himself. He is the king, and I am the crown princess. Waltz, you will come back for me, right? What are you? Before he can react, I put my hands on his back and push him all the strength I can muster. Waltz stares at me in horror as he falls into this portal. I'm sorry. Walt disappears and the portal collapsing in on itself, leaving me with the king. Both my mind and heart are numb as the knights approach, ready to surround us. The king and I sit on the floor with our hands tied behind our backs. There are two knights standing by the door to watch over us. I look at the king, who remains as quiet and solemn as before. He has been so calm. Does he have a plan? Why is it that you choose to stay with me? I'm surprised when he finally breaks the silence. Because there are questions, and then questions I need answers to. Besides, I cannot leave you here. I have many things I need to ask you. King Gennaro falls silent as he stares at me. The glow of his eyes clearly reflect my own. I had never realized how similar our eyes were. Is it true? Are you really my daughter? Yes, I was given a fairy tale curse and turned into a peasant. My title was stolen from me and from the minds of the people. No one remembers who I am anymore. Cinderella? Did you know? I've noticed the glass slipper necklace on your neck, but the other slipper seems to be missing a piece. It's? I look down and stare at the second slipper, my eyes widen when I notice that the piece is bigger. But when did this happen? I consider and recall the moment I broke Walt's curse. Was it when I broke Walt's curse? This means I only have one more deed left to complete, but my birthday is tomorrow. Are you alright? Yes, I am just worried. You have been through much today. Try to get some rest. You must reserve your energy. I am unsure what this means, but either way, there is no way I could possibly sleep now. At least, this is what I tell myself, but as minutes pass by, I feel my eyes getting heavier. Eventually, I drift into a dreamless sleep. Viviana, you must wake up. blink a few times, and when I come back to find when I came to, I find that mosquito. I am leaning on the king's shoulder. I fell asleep. The king glanced back up to the door, his eyes narrowed slightly as he takes a deep breath. It is time to go. What? I turned toward the front doors and realized that the knights guarding the room are missing. They will be back soon. We must hurry. I am surprised when the king pulls out of the ropes that were binding him. He holds a small knife in his hands. How long has he been out of his binds? When did you free yourself? I think I have been only so sorely underestimated. I have been trained just as well as the knights. It goes without saying that I could get myself out of bindings. I am not so weak that I need to depend on others to protect me. It sounds like something I would say. But where did you get the knife? We made sure to take anything we had that could have been more welcome. Did Would it suffice to say that I pulled it from a hidden spot? Not many people think to look in a person's boot. The king leans down to cut my bindings, then lowers himself to the ground. His finger crushes the floor. What are you doing? Finding the keyhole. Ah, here we are. He pulls a small key from his pocket and fits it into a crevice in the floor. The floor gives a gentle, audible rumble. The king pulls a tile from the floor, revealing a hidden staircase. There was a hidden staircase here, in the floor? An escape route, if one were ever needed. Only I know of its existence. Now, we must go before they return. I nod and follow after him. King sets the panel in place as it descends down into the darkness. The floor rumbles once more as the iron pathway closes behind us. Of us walk in silence for some time. The only sound we hear are the echoes of our footsteps. I am behind the king, staring at his back. He seems to have already recovered from his earlier injury. Or he could be just pretending that he is alright. How is your back? It doesn't hurt as much now. Thank you for asking. Balance anxious once again. It's getting awkward. Maybe I should say something. Yeah. I cannot stand the silence any longer, and speak up before I lose my nerve. I'm sorry. Rising. Because I've done nothing but cause you trouble. God told me once that when I disappeared, the king was the happiest he'd ever been, because I was not there. I'm sure if you had been given the chance to forget me or not, you would have chosen to forget me. Thank you for that, Betsy Colby. No, like I have been the cause of your pain, not the other way around. I should be the one apologizing. I've been wondering for a while. With my daughter, why do you address me by title? Do you not call me father? I stop in my tracks and turn away. It has been years since I called you that. You were never there for me, so I stopped considering you my father. A deafening silence falls upon us. I'm sorry. Can you tell me why you distance yourself from me? The king looks at me silently, with something like regret in his eyes. I want to slap myself for my foolish question. My apologies. Forgot that you do not remember me. You know, I have learned many things since I have been cursed, but the things I have learned do not answer my questions. I thought that by staying here, I would finally chance upon... I would find. Isn't something missing? Like, I would finally have a chance. Want some answers, some truth. I have always thought that only mother loved me because you were never there for me. I'm sorry, I cannot give you the answers you seek. Well, I can understand why you would hate me. I am a witch daughter after all. Told you? Do you know what transpired in the past? You mean with mother? Hildur threatened to kill the person I loved if I did not marry her. She threatened to kill Ophelia. The king looks down, his face contorted with anger. You said that mother broke their rules long before she took over the kingdom. Her hands were already stained with blood. I won't let any more. What? I won't let any more in her hands. I had no choice back then. I married her because I refused to let her hurt Ophelia. I hated that woman for ruining my life and my kingdom. No. I recall when I thanked Waltz for saving the kingdom. Can you tell me who Waltz is? Waltz? He was Hildur's apprentice. He was powerful, considered the second strongest among the witches. Really? He was a child prodigy. That is why old Hildur ordered his family killed when they refused to give him to her. Waltz didn't find out about that until much later. Mother killed Waltz's family? I cannot believe this. Just how many lives did she take? When he did find out, he betrayed Hildur. He devoted her plans to the fairies and helped them defeat her. He gave him a copy of the key to the secret tunnels so that he could deliver it to the Lucis bearer. Huh? So that is how Orphea got the copy of the key. Then Hildur cursed him for betraying her. I do not know how you two know each other, but it is fairly obvious to me that he is loyal to you and cares about you. He was the type of person that expressed that loyalty plainly, so I can tell. I do not know why the king decided to comment on such a thing, but my cheeks are suddenly warm. You care for him. Do I? He's a good man. I think we haven't got into this. Okay. How did we get to this conversation? The two of us are still walking when the king suddenly stops and I nervously bump into him. Now, here we are. It should bring us into a passage that leads into the garden. I follow his gaze into the rusty door. He slowly approached the door. Stay close to me. I know that thing. He turns the knob and pulls down the lock. That's the king and I can only gap on the side of in front of us. It is the last thing we expected to see behind the door. Mother? The Witch and the Crystal, Chapter 7. I cannot trust my eyes, because it is indeed Mother standing before us. She looks the same as when I last saw her, like she was just been sleeping all this time. What is Hildur doing here? Is that the crystal tunnel realm? It looks like she looks like she has been trapped inside the crystal, but how? No, she passed on 4 years ago. This is impossible. A surprise, isn't it? Oh my god, for a moment it looked like she had like glowing eyes. Huh? The king immediately moves to stand in front of me. Sir Mitros saunters toward us with a wide smile on his face, looking unperturbed. Isn't she exquisite? Even in slumber, she is still so beautiful. What is the meaning of this, Mitros? When Mitros does not answer, the king reaches for his knife and frowns. What exactly are you and Alcazar planning? I'm offended that you are associating the two of us. My goals are different from Alcazar's. My only wish is to see my queen again. Alcazar is the one who is after your throne. What are you going to do with Mother? I plan to revive her. What? I stared at Mitros, shocked. Revive Mother? Is it even possible to bring back the dead? She is still alive, dear princess. My queen is only sleeping. The link to the Tenebrum has allowed her to survive all of these years. She infused the last of her power with the crystal and merged it with it. She was wise, yet even as its light grows dimmer, so too does the light of her life come close to being extinguished. Once you have fully accepted your role as the new bearer of the Crystal Tenebrum, the link with it will be severed and she will die. That's why I needed you. I need you, princess. I need your powers to bring her back to life. What? On your 18th birthday, you will honor the crystal's powers, and with that power, you will revive my queen. Isn't this what you have always wanted? Have your beloved mother back? It is true that I have always wished for Mother to come back, but Laurent Parfait told me the truth, and now that is the last thing that I want. What if Mother ruins the kingdom once again? I will not let that happen. I will not let my kingdom fall into darkness again. The king charged towards Sir Mitros with a knife in his hands. My brain just died there. But Sir Mitros easily sent him flying backward, with a flick of his wrist and a magic spell. The knife falls to the ground just a few feet from where I stand. Your Majesty! I'm about to run to him when Varg steps out of the darkness and room and points a sword at the king's throat. Don't move, princess, otherwise my hand might slip. I freeze in my spot. Has he been here this whole time? Now, princess, you have an important decision to make. Help me revive the queen and save the king, or run away and he dies. It is nothing compared to the lives that will be lost if Ilder is brought back. I would gladly trade my life for any of the lives she would steal. Foolish king, you cannot grumble with your life when it is no longer in your hands. Demetrius growls at the king before facing me once again. He flashes a crooked smile. How about it, princess? So this is the wrong answer, so I'll decline. I cannot let Sir Mitros kill the king, but I cannot let him revive Mother either. If I can just improvise, I might be able to toll them long enough for some backup to arrive. I catch a glimpse of the king's knife, which is just a few feet from me, when an idea strikes me. Waltz Parfait, Laura. They have to come for us. I refuse. What? Demetrius looks at me, irritated. The king, however, looks relieved. The king's blood shall be on your hands then, Var. Quickly leaned down to pick up the knife and hold it to my neck. Princess, what are you planning to do with that? Put that down before you hurt yourself. Let the king go, or I will kill myself. I know you need me to revive Mother. Huh. Do not take me for a fool, princess. I know you do not have the courage to die a martyr. Annoyance simmers within me. Oh, are you sure of that? I swallow as I press the blade to my neck. I feel the sharp edge cut through skin, but the blade does not go deep enough to hit any vital parts. Sorry. I don't like notification. Oh, thing there is. My body is racked with pain and tears blur my vision. Scared. The fool. Dimitri's face is pale as he attempts to step toward me. Now you see my resolve, but I can go. Let the king go, Mistress. Mistress curses under his breath, his outstretched hand clenched into the tight fist before he draws it back. It's working. I feel myself relaxed, but my hope is short-lived and foolish. Mistress casts a spell and the knife goes out in my hand. A scream escapes my mouth as I fall to the floor and clutch at my injured hand. You have been a very bad princess. Your mother would be disappointed in you. He trusts, but he only clicks his tongue and face turn. This would have been so much more pleasant if you would chosen to work with me, princess. I'll get what you want, princess. Even if I must break you to revive my queen, I will do it. I will suffer the consequences for it later. Mitri turns to Varg. Varg, put them both in cells. Take a few steps back as Varg approaches us. All I manage to do is back myself into a wall. Varg looks at me amused, like a cat toying with a mouse. He takes another step, but I do not get to see the movement he makes afterward. A bright light engulfs the area, eliciting and agitating his from Mistress. But how? When the light clears, Varg is still standing, his eyes on my feet. I follow his gaze. Oh, shiny. My shoes have been replaced with two beautiful glass slippers. I broke my curse? What did I do? The king looks at me, his eyes easy. He He opens his mouth to speak, but then stops when Mitros comes to over just above him, his expression fixed into a glare. But your broken curse will not help you now, princess. No, be a good girl and let Park to escort you to your cell. Takes us to one of the prison cells and locks us up. This time, be a good girl and don't try to escape. I scowl at him. He only smirks in response. Feisty as usual, as always. He flashes me a lopsided smile before taking his leave. Diviana. The king quickly takes my hands in his and pulls me down to the floor to sit beside him. Will he stay alive in this one? Because I've seen that for a long time. The arrows to move forward haven't been like yellow, so like, is this thing alive now? Please tell me staying alive. I don't want to cry again. The king quickly takes my hand in his and pulls me down to the floor to sit beside him. He reaches into his pocket, then withdraws an uncurved sheath. What is he doing? He neatly folds the cloth and leans toward me. I cringe back and reflex. He gingerly presses the end kerchief onto my injured skin. I cringe as I feel the pain. I'm so sorry, Diviana. Your injury is my fault. You have nothing to apologize for. I did it to save you, and yet here we are. I'm the one that owes you an apology. I turn my gaze away in shame. The king cups my cheek and turns my head so that I am facing him. The gesture is so gentle, it moves me to tears. A father should be the one to protect his child, always. His face is twisted in pain as he stares at me, eyes brimming with tears. I see the recognition in his eyes. Having reunited with my father like this makes me realize that I still cared for him. Please forgive me. I already have. The words take. He's going to die. I hear that. Like a good. As if it is as if the eyes said that. It has been prodding it for so long. It's finally melting away. Without another word, my father closed his arms around me, tracked me in a warm embrace. This is the first time he ever hugged me. I feel tears brimming in my eyes. So I am crying as I bury my face into my father's shoulder. I'm sorry. Please forgive me, my dear daughter. See, I'm not ready for this. We stay like this for what seems a lifetime, leaning against each other and crying, silently asking for forgiveness. Once we are more relaxed, I sit down beside my father and tell him what has transpired since I was cursed. His expression becomes darker with every word that I speak. You have suffered so much, and I have not been able to ease that suffering in any way. No, my life has come and showed me things I have never appreciated before. It was more fulfilling than my life in the palace. The moment I become cursed might be the first moment I start truly living. I take a deep breath as I contemplate the question that has been in my heart all this time. Your Majesty, have you ever loved me? I am terrified, but still I force myself to look right at the king. I've always loved you, Diviana. I value you more than my own life. You are my everything, my daughter. I blink at him, my eyes filled with tears. I've waited so long to hear those words from you. If you loved me, why wouldn't you be there for me? Why did you let mother do this to me? Is it because I was her daughter? It is true that you are her daughter, but you are also mine. I don't even remember how we. Yeah. His voice trails off and he avoids my eyes. He sighed softly. I was put her under spell at night. Please don't explain. You know what? How it works. You don't need to explain. I didn't explain before. Explain. Months later. The recovery. You want Deutsch's daughter. But you were different. She was darkness and you were light. Then she corrupted you. She paid me to get close to you. She was afraid that I would influence you to betray her. She told me that she would steal you away completely if I ever approached you. I couldn't bear the thought of losing my own daughter. I did as she demanded. I had to watch you grow up from afar. I had to push you away. The only thing I could do for you was help you celebrate your birthday every year. The birthday surprise every year, the letters that led me to secret birthday rooms. Those surprises were always the highlight of my birthday. This whole time, it was you who planned those surprises. I could not let you know that it was I who planned those surprises. The beautiful smile you had on your face when you saw all of your gifts was more than enough. I'm really sorry for everything, Diana. For not being a good father, for not being there for you, for pushing you away. After your mother died, he pauses, then shakes his head. After I thought she died, I thought I might make it up to you, but I failed miserably as your father. You were already so far away from me. I tried to get close to you, but I drove you away. I do not blame you. I think back to all those times when you tried to talk to me or approach me. I would always walk away or refuse to talk to him because I hated him. I was convinced that he didn't love me. I tried, but I tried too late and not hard enough. I should have tried to better understand you. I should have tried harder to see what your mother had done to you. I have never expected any sort of forgiveness, and yet you still gave it to me. But now I am at loss as to what I can do to make it up to you. But you are here now, right? I smile at him intently, and he smiles back. He leans forward to place a kiss on my forehead, even as he wipes a tear away. I love you, Diviana. I love you too, Father. He rests his hand on my cheek. Allow me to make it up to you. Allow me to protect you. You cannot bring her back, Diviana. There will be too many consequences. If I refuse to help them, they will kill you. Father shakes his head and smiles. If I have to give up my life to give you and our kingdom a brighter future, then so be it. He says, it's almost time to go. Father moves to stand in front of me. I won't let you take her. Park doesn't answer. violently taps his cane to the ground, creating the same energy force as before, then Father back into the wall with an invisible force. Father! Father staggers back to his feet and gazes at me with a pained expression. Don't do this, Viviana. I palm my hands into tight fists. Have no other choice. I'm sorry, Father, but I cannot let them kill you. I try to smile at him. Oopsie, gee. I try to smile at him reassuringly, or walking away with Varg. The last thing I hear is him calling my name before Varg closes the door, and there is silence in the hallway. I am once again standing in front of Mother's crystallized form. It's time, Princess. Now put your hands over the crystal. I stare at my mother's crystallized form in silence, but fear takes hold of my body. Time is of the essence, Princess. I do as I command, and set my hands on the surface of the crystal. Later, the clock strikes 12 and my body suddenly grows heavy. A strange power begins to flow through me. What is happening? I tend to pull my hands back, but to no avail. Not only are they heavy, but they feel as if they are glued to the crystal. Even I struggle to move. I feel my energy dimming as the crystal grows brighter and brighter. Yes. I blink a few times as tears begin to sting my eyes. I bit my lip in an attempt to keep myself from falling unconscious, and the effort only makes me taste blood. Viviana? Huh? Ooh. Really? Out of the corner of my eyes, I catch a glimpse of Waltz by the door, his hand glowing as he prepares to cast a spell. Waltz? Waltz's eyes meet mine, his expression contorting in anger, as he turns to glare at Mitros. This is madness, Mit. You're too late, Waltz. Just a little bit more and the energy transfer will be complete. And my queen will be free from her prison. I won't let you do this. Was to resist his spell at Mitros, who quickly conjures a shield to protect himself. I feel so weak. I feel my knees giving out. The next thing I know, Walt stands beside me with a dagger. He drives the edge of the dagger into the tenebrum surface, cracking it slightly. And then I am free. Walt catches me in his arms just before my body hits the floor. Stay with me, Diviana. My body relaxes when I feel his arms around me. I squint up at his face, but his features are blurry. I have to blink a few times to clear my vision. Oh, the right answer is I knew you'd come back. I knew you'd come back. Thank you for trusting me. I will always come back for you, no matter the risks. Thank you. Don't speak, Princess. Save your strength. You're so cute. How did you get in here? What? It's like we made it just in time. Parfait steps through a hole in the wall that her outburst of magic created. She looks sullen. You! How dare you show your face here? You, who tried to kill my beloved queen. Kill? Mitrus raises his hand to cast a spell, but Parfait quickly frees him in place with a flick of her wrist. I'm surprised, but then I realize that Parfait is Lucy's bearer. Even in her weakened state, it seems she's a force to be reckoned with. She turns to face me with a weak smile on her face. As a bear on the chrysalim Lucy's, it is my duty to stop Ildir. Such was my goal even back then. Even the two of us were dear friends. While Parfait is speaking, Park slowly moves forward with his cane. He seems just about ready to bring it down to the ground when Parfait turns in place and casts a spell. Magic hits his cane head-on, shattering it on impact. Park, however, seems surprisingly calm. It's a good thing that wasn't the only weapon I had, huh? Park suddenly charges for Parfait as something silver and sharp glints in his hands. Parfait doesn't even move as she casts another spell, knocking Park back against the wall. The knife in his hand clatters to the ground. Park staggers back to his feet, the mask covering his eyes fall from his face as he stands. When he looks up, I feel my blood turn cold. Breathes. Park wags his fingers at me, his smile crooked. Maybe I look like him a little, but you can't seriously think we're the same person, can you? I clutch Walt's shirt between my fingers as I stare. Everything begins to feel hazy once again. What is going on? Viviana? Viviana! I see my father before I see him. When I turn, he's limped toward us, with a pained expression on his face. I can only assume that he somehow made it out of his cell, or that someone helped him out. Walt's arms is still there to support me as I walk toward my father. I'll reach out to touch both of my cheeks. His warmth makes me flinch. You are cold. I'll be fine. Father clenches his fist and turns to Mitros. It's over now, Mitros. Not quite. A bright light suddenly surrounds the Tenebrar, and the whole is engulfed in white. I should have killed you a long time ago, dear Denal. No, he still dies. Ugh. Father, I am unable to see what has happened, but as soon as the light disappears, I see what horror has happened before me. I scream and I spot a large gash in my father's chest. Blood pours from a wound from a blade of light. I catch my father in my arms as he stumbles back, but quickly comes to stand beside me and help support him. Father! Now, this kingdom is mine once again. The voice is familiar, but distantly so. It is a voice from my memories. I look up and suddenly there she is. My mother stands before me, beautiful and regal. Her eyes are cold, lacking any kind of love as she looks over at me. Diviana, welcome back, my queen. Mitros, who has somehow managed to escape from Parfait, is now down on one knee before Mother. Hildir. Hello, dear Fate. It's been a while. Parfait puts a hand on her chest. As she begins to cough, she collapses to her knees. I've grown weaker since we last found. What? Lady Parfait. Mother's eye snaps to Walton Narrow. I see that traitor is here too. I also see that you have managed to reunite with my daughter. Mother flicks her wrist as she casts her spell. You will pay for what you did to me. Step back. Parfait quickly steps in front of us, and an invisible barrier appears just as Mother conjures a series of sharp-eyed projectiles. They bounce harmlessly off the shield, but I can feel the rumble in the ground as they rumble down to the floor. Parfait! Parfait is still kneeling on the ground. Now I can see blood on her lips. Diviana, I look down at my father. His shirt is soaked in blood, but his eyes are still barely open. Father! I feel tears brimming in my eyes. The room fills with light, this time emanating from the floor. Slowly, our surroundings begin to blur. Go then, run away, Parfait. That's all you have ever done. Parfait's voice is pressed and pained as she speaks. You'll stop, bewildered. The last thing I see is Mother's wicked smile. Then the light swallows us all. When the light fades, we are back in the mansion. Parfait is still on the ground, though now she seems like she might sink into it. Hey, Parfait! I'll be fine, just call Rumpel quickly. Walt darts from the room immediately. Father, please, hold on. My father's clothes are now dyed a thick crimson and that stains my hands and dress. Moments later, Walt returns with Rumpel. He rushes over the king the moment he sees him. Rumpel tears my father's shirt open, revealing a deep wound on his chest. He quickly looks over his body, then attempts to apply pressure to the wound, but the bleeding does not stop. He lost too much blood. Can you do something? I'll do my best, but there is only so much I can do, Princess. I cannot perform miracles. There is a farewell look in his eyes as he says this, an almost pained expression on his face. This helpless expression makes me panic, the panic surge in me again. You call yourself a daughter? Viviana, calm down. You cannot lose him, Waltz. I don't have much time left, Viviana. I turn to look down at my father, my eyes filling with tears. Don't say that, Father. I wanted to see you become queen, but it seems that this is the end for me. I collapse beside Father, and he reaches up and a shaking hand to touch my wet cheek. Protect our kingdom. I can only nod at him. I will always be with you. I love you, Viviana, and I'm proud that you are my daughter. Father smiles at me, and it is so genuine and warm that it brings fresh tears to my eyes. His eyes slowly close, but the smile never leaves his lips. Father! I shake him, but he does not react. No, no! I lean over my father, willing him to come back, to open his eyes, but he's no longer breathing. For the first time in my life, I cry for my father. As my father's death, I have looked at myself in my room. I'm filled with constant grief and pain, but I have become numb on the inside. Even when I want to cry, my tears won't come. Viviana, I bought you something to eat. I'm not in the mood to eat. Sets the tray down and walks toward me. The blankets crumple as he sits down beside me. Slowly, he wraps his arm around me and strokes my hair. What happened wasn't your fault, Viviana. He did what any father would do for his daughter. He did not deserve to die the way that he did. My mother's hands. I know. I curl my fingers into Walt's shirt. I do not want to lose anyone anymore, Walt. Walt continues stroking my hair. You'll be fine, I promise. For now, you need to rest, Viviana. I'll be here by your side until you fall asleep. He plants a kiss on my forehead and closes my eyes, reaching his warmth. Walt holds his firm but comfortable, and I sink into his arms as I fall into dreamless sleep. Days later, the pilot announced his father's death. It isn't long before Alcasar is given his crown. the announcement of his ascension, announcement of his ascension, whatever, comes with an explanation of the king's death. The palace paints me as a criminal, telling the town folks that I was the one who killed the king. I am labeled a fugitive, and the royal family is officially declared missing. We have all been in hiding together since then, the royal family included. Now it has been 2 weeks since father died. The longer time moves on, the more aware I become of one gaping realization. Mother has not yet shown herself to the public. What could she be plotting? I place my hand over my heart, willing the pain away. Every time I think of Mother, I remember the sword of light that went through my father's body. Enough time has passed. Even though I am suffering losses, I cannot stand idle. I have a promise to fulfill. I'll protect our kingdom. I am about to go back to my room when Parfait calls me. Dolores stands beside her. Viviana, can we talk with you? I look away, avoiding their eyes. What is it that you want to discuss with me? It's about the Tenebrarum. Despite Hilda's revival, it appears that the crystal's light is still dim. That can only mean one thing. Hilda is still weak. Still weak? Hilda is absorbing all of your powers when we found you. We interrupted the process. The crystal was not able to absorb all of the magic you now possess. That is why she's still weak. Also, there was something else that bothered me about the crystal, something odd. Odd? A bearer has a very strong bond with a crystal, a mutual relationship of sorts. That bond was absent when she returned. What are you saying? It seems as if the crystal is forsaking their bond. What? It seems even the crystal knows that Hilda's time has come to and gone. Princess, the crystal has already chosen you as its next bearer. It's a small blessing, but it doesn't change the fact that Hilda's is still the strongest wish. At least, it is what she wants us to think. Parfait and Laura exchange a glance. The crystal has chosen its next bearer, and you now have just as much potential, if not even more. Just needs prep. Turns to me. Her usually relaxed expression more solemn. You are ready to learn magic, Tiviana. Magic that will potentially use to defeat your mother. I have never used magic before in my life. I have never been raised as a witch, and using magic to defeat mother? I do not know. Well, regardless of what decision you make, we will be here to support you. Dolores and I want you to know that. How is it that they are still willing to help me, when I was the one that caused this whole mess? I need some fresh air. I didn't walk through the door when I see Ophelia walk in front of the tavern. Our eyes briefly meet, and she opens her mouth to say something, then stops when I shake my head. I do not want to hear her blame me for my father's death. Certainly that must be what she is thinking. Ophelia frowns but does not speak. I quicken my pace, almost running as I head into the forest. The night is silent and calm, and the only sound I can hear is a gentle sway of the grass as I step through it. Mother is back because of me. If I hadn't revived her, father would still be alive. How am I supposed to face everyone knowing that? What has been trying to cheer me up? While I appreciate his company and concern, even he cannot help me come to terms with my mistakes. I hear footsteps behind me. I turn to see Waltz approaching with a frown on his face. Viviana, please, I am not in the mood to listen to your reassurance again. I do not need you to tell me again that this was not my fault. Viviana, your father didn't want to see you like this. How do you know that what my father wanted? I snapped him without meaning to, not bothering to hide the irritation. He wanted you to walk forward, not linger on the past that cannot be changed. You've been distancing yourself from us since the king passed. Don't think that I haven't noticed. Why is that? Because this is the only way I can keep them safe. Know that by your side, Viviana, shouldering the burden will only worsen your pain. Worsen? I already know the pain of losing someone that I love. I have brought nothing but suffering to those around me. I cannot get close to anyone again. Lest I put them in danger. I've already lost my father, and I do not want to lose anyone else. Especially not you, Walt. Walt's eyes widen as he stares at me. I want to show you something. Keep your eyes open, Viviana. You can't miss it. Walt snaps his fingers and golden orbs of light suddenly spring to life around us. So pretty, so cute. I can only marvel at the orbs of light floating around us. They look like stars dancing through the night. It's beautiful. You cannot truly appreciate how bright a star is without darkness. Walt snaps his fingers again, and most of the lights go out. During difficult times, the lights grow dimmer. He snaps again until only one light remains. When you're all alone, it grows even dimmer still. There are things that you cannot do on your own, otherwise you risk snuffing your own light out. Another snap and the golden orbs return, this time in great numbers. The lights are brighter than they were before. You are not alone, Viviana. I love you, and it hurts to see you suffer alone like this. My heart is pounding so hard, I fear it might escape my chest. In this moment, it feels as if time has stopped, and it is just the two of us. All I can see is Walt, as I stand here staring at him. Come to a realization. I love him. When did this happen? After a few moments, I realize that it does not matter. I stand up on the tips of my toes so that I can cup Walt's face in my hands. I move before I can think, leaning over to place a light kiss on his lips. I like his shock face. I feel an arm as Walt pulls me closer. The kiss becomes more heated, and I feel a gentle flame stirring in my stomach, even as my mind becomes foggy. I feel his tongue on my lips, but when I part them, he has suddenly drawn away. Face deep breath. So cute. Sorry, I need to catch my breath. I feel the heat in my cheeks, and I have to fight back my embarrassment. Just kiss it, Walt. Yes, you kissed. I look up at Walt, suddenly realizing how close he is to me. I quickly bury my face into his chest and hide my embarrassment. Walt's chest rises and falls with his gentle laughter. You're so cute. I close my eyes, allowing his warmth to envelop me like a blanket. I love you, my little star. This is not just your battle anymore, Viviana. don't have to carry this burden alone. So please, trust me. Trust in us. I'm overwhelmed by Walt's words. Make me feel strangely light, as if a weight has truly been lifted from my shoulders. I will. Thank you. I should go back now, or else everyone might get worried. Waltz places a soft kiss on my forehead. Oops. On my forehead and smiles at me as he pulls away. He extends a hand toward me. Let's go, my little star. I smile as I slowly take his hand. We walk back to the Martian, hand in hand, momentarily forgetting about all the bad things that have transpired. Oh. Chapter 8. I don't know if it is nope or if it's dope or if it's hope. I don't know. No, probably it's hope though. Probably it's hope. Let's forget my dumb moment for a moment. Okay, so let me save and let me do a be right back because I need to go to bed. So I'll be right back. Things are falling. Not 2 weeks since Mother's will, and yet I have not heard or seen anything of her. So cold. So I just went up to go to the bathroom and just cold. Are you planning to do, Mother? Prophet told me before that the Tenebra had already chosen me as the next member. Does that have anything to do with why Mother is so in on? Is it possible not to feel the weight of my new responsibility? It is impossible, though. I have not yet fully accepted that I am not. I have not yet fully accepted that I am now the bearer, but I cannot run from this responsibility for long. The Tenebrarum bearer's duty is to work alongside Parfait to balance the light and darkness of the kingdom. That balance had only just begun, mending before Mother's sudden revival. For nights, I've been wondering if there is some other way to stop Mother without fighting her. A small part of me hopes that perhaps Mother can still change. I think about that, and then I remember how Mother is hard to Our, a mother, oh, mother so heartlessly killed father as soon as she had been revived. She was sleeping for 4 years, but that did not change her mind. Even now, I can only assume that she still means to make his kingdom suffer. It feels as my heart is twisting itself into a knot. I gasp when a bright spark fizzles to leaf in my hands. Tension and clench my hands, taking deep breaths to calm myself. Ever since I started trying to work with magic, it's been activating on its own. Whenever I feel any sort of deep emotion, some type of electricity sparks in my hands. It is all I can do to try and keep my emotions in check. The last thing I want to do is instantly burn down the Martian or hurt anyone inside of it. Laura and Waltz have both agreed to start teaching me how to use my magic. For the last few days, the forest near the Martian has served as the training grounds. Parfait constantly cloaks the Martian in powerful magic to keep our presence hidden from Mother and the other witches. It allows us to use our magic without worrying about being cracked. Still, Parfait's constant spell has considerably weakened her. Laura and Waltz tried to convince her to not cast it in the first place, but Parfait insisted that we remain as close to the Tenebrarum as possible, rather than move somewhere safer. She told us all that I need to be close to the Tenebrarum as it's better. As far as we all know, the crystal is still unmoved in the palace. Now that the change will be smaller in a battle of magic. Well, I know the chance, not change, is extremely high, although I fear the outcome. I have no choice but to consider the possibility. Time is running out, and I do not have the luxury of waiting much longer. I must decide what I must do. They all believe that I am the only one who can stand up on tomorrow, even with a little franchise. Last night I told Parfait that I would make my decision the next day, and that I would tell everyone what I had decided. Now it's the time for that decision. When I step into the reception room, everyone is already there waiting for me. I catches Walt's eyes first. He cocks his head ever so slightly, his lips stretching into a warm smile. I nod at him and smile back. I take a deep breath before facing everyone. This is the first time I have spoken properly with everyone since my father's death. Before I tell you of my decision, I want to apologize for everything that I have done, and for everything that has happened. Mother is back because I was a coward, and father died because I was weak. Diana, Bill is the first to respond. It wasn't your fault, dear. I stared down at the ground with my hands clenched. I tried to will my anger away, but only managed a few deep stealing breaths before I looked up again. I brought Mother back because I feared that disobedience would have them killed my father. Yet in the end, he was still. The image of father's smiling face flashed through my mind. I cleared my throat. I promised him that I would protect Angel. This is what I intend to do. I will do everything I can do to protect our kingdom. Spoken like a true queen. The words are shocking, even more so when they come out of Laura's mouth. Queen? Why do you seem surprised, princess? You know you're next in line for the throne. I hadn't even thought about being the next ruler. I'm not even sure I have the right qualities. Can I really do this? I wanted to see you become queen, protect our kingdom. cannot let father down. I have to do this for his sake, but kingdom comes before the crown. Take the crown if I can win it back. Your help. I'm still weak, but that will not stop me from training every day until we face Mother. I hope I am not asking for too much, but I hope you will all fight with me to protect our kingdom together. You didn't even need to ask us that, Viviana. It goes without saying that we'll help you in any way that we can. I second that. We'll all be here for you. I smile at everyone gathered. But this is what it feels to be trusted and needed. It feels good. It will be hard for me, but we will stop Mother. Together, we might stand a chance against her. Hilda is strong, but not invulnerable. Parfait looks at me, eyebrows forward. You know what we must do to stop Hilda, Princess? I feel a tinge of pain in my chest, but force my eyes to hold Parfait's gaze. I look into Parfait's eyes with determination. I do. Later that same day, I resumed my training with Waltz while Parfait and Laura tried to come up with a plan. Trin and Garland returned to the town to listen for any information regarding Mother or Alcaster or any happenings in the palace. Force myself to focus only on learning. Use my magic as fast as I can. Today, Waltz is continuing his lesson on barriers. He has been teaching me the same spells for the past week, emphasizing my protection. Let's review the types of barriers I've been trying to teach you. Do you remember them? One shields you from harm, while the other reflects some spell back at the caster. Powerful spells cannot be deflected. Thank you for that, that's Colby. That is why you need to be able to tell which spells can be reflected and which cannot, otherwise you'll end up using the wrong barrier. A single mistake can cost you your life. So how do I know what barrier I must use? Allow me to demonstrate. You've seen me cast my spells many times, so you should be able to tell the difference between them, but for now, let's think of it as another game, just to take a guess. Who knows, you might actually give me the right answer. It'll treat if you do. Treat? He always did like treating you in a town. It's special this time. I wonder if this is just like those other treats he treated me to before. I'll snap his finger and glimmer but faint purple light appears around him. It is faded at first, but slowly becomes brighter as he moves his hands. The effects of false magic are immediate, but this spell is taking longer to cast. It is stronger magic. Remember Walt's telling me before that it takes lots of energy to cast a stronger barrier. Does that apply to offensive spells as well? Question time. What kind of barrier should you use? Last time I put deflector and it was wrong. A shield. The slow casting times makes this seem like a powerful spell, and powerful spells cannot be deflected. Surely this is the right answer. Is that your final answer? My confidence is thwarted by sudden indecision. Viviana, in the midst of a battle, you won't have the luxury of time to think about your decision. I look at him and nod. It should be the right answer. That is correct. Now prepare your shield. No? I've never shielded myself from a powerful spell. What if my barrier breaks? Trust in yourself, Viviana. I do as I'm trusted and stretch out my hands to cast a barrier to shield myself. I go. My hands shake as what spell collides with my barrier, and my feet to hold myself upright. Such a strong spell. When the light dissipates, I look up hesitantly before smiling triumphantly when I see that my barrier is still in one piece. Yes, Colby? Okay. Let's go away. I look up hesitantly before smiling triumphantly when I see that my barrier is still in one piece. Idiots. When do you start? By the barrier again. My heart sinks when I notice new cracks in its surface. My barrier. Don't fret, Vivian. Even the strongest barrier will obtain cracks after being hit by a powerful spell. That is when you set up your next barrier. Your opponent will usually make the mistake of assuming you have the same shield up and attack you with a weaker spell to try to break it. You can be ready for them with a new barrier. Why not? I'm impressed at how fast a learner you are. I have a good teacher. I think you're just a good student. So when will you teach me offensive spells? I don't think you need to learn those quite yet. The witches we're up against will probably stick to offense, which means protecting yourself will be even more vital than trying to attack them. Tell everyone that I will fight, and I mean it. If I need to hurt someone, to save someone, I'll do it. I look him in the eyes, my gaze unwavering. Still need to learn, even if it is just one offensive spell waltz. What if I need to help you? I cannot do that by just conjuring barriers. I will not lose anyone else this time, Waltz. Look at Waltz, and my heart etches at the sight of his frown. I do not want to lose you either. This is why I need to be as strong as possible. I want to be able to protect you. But I'm just going to do something. to either. This is why I need to be as strong as possible. I want to be able to protect you. Moss makes his way over to me in just a few strides and pulls me into his arms. Will do what I can to save you from a repeat of what happened last time, Diviana. But you won't lose me. Moss pulls back and looks at me, his expression warm and gentle. Here is your treat, as I promised. Huh? Moss bends down to place his lips over mine in a soft kiss. It is a short-lived kiss, but it is still enough to make me breathless. You're all ready, Diana. Well, you kinda kissed me. It was your special treat? Disappointed? I quickly pressed my cheek to his chest to keep him from seeing my tinted cheeks. No. Let's call it a day. You need to rest. Teach me an offensive spell first. Diviana, we've been practicing since morning, and it will be dark soon. You already know that overusing your magic will take toll on your body, especially when you're still getting accustomed to it. I shake my head at Walt's determined. My magic before did wear me out, but now I can handle more. What kind of bearer would I be if I couldn't handle this much? Please, I'm begging, Walt. He eventually sighs and rubs the back of his neck. Let me just check something. Just checking something. Hey, but just one spell. Thank you. He steps away from me. Oh wait, I forgot to mute it. Teach you. What I will teach you is a lightning spell. Not for the faint at heart. It will inflict excruciating pain on your enemies and also potentially paralyze them. I nod as Walt continues the explanation. But I try my best to conjure the electricity. I have only managed sparks at the end of the day. I collapse onto my bed and feel the exhaustion lying over me like a blanket. I can barely move my arms after trying the lightning spell over and over again. I need to learn that spell as soon as possible. I yawn and then close my eyes. Sleep comes easy that night. Viviana, that voice. Come back to me, my sweet princess. No. You have no choice in this, little one. Come. No choice in this, little one. You'll come back to me, whether you like it or not. I'll be waiting for you. I sit up in my bed, my heart pounding loudly in my chest and in my ears. A dream? I weep unexpected, beads of sweat from my forehead, as I calm myself with steady breaths. No! I'll never go back to you, mother. I end up waking up later than usual, a result of my practice from yesterday. When I step inside the reception room, I see Julian and Garland, speaking with Parfait, Laura, and Waltz. There is a definite solemnity to the air. They all turn to look at me as I approach. Did something happen? Princess, the palace made an announcement today. They are issuing a higher bounty on your head for murder and treason. What? It was very strange, what with the fact that they haven't even bothered to look for you since that day. Something messed up happened that forced them to suddenly act. Laura soon gathers everyone in the room to discuss Julian and Garland's discovery. The only one who is not in here is Anise, who is in town buying ingredients for the Martian's meals. But if you didn't kill anyone, isn't there some way to convince them? Alcazar is in power now. We will favor him, and that everyone remembers who I am. They are once again frightened of me. No one would listen to you. They haven't seen how much you've changed. If only they could understand your circumstances, then they might be more sympathetic. I look at Emily in surprise and find myself smiling at her. Thank you for your kind words. I turn to everyone once again and frown. Once again, I am the one putting everyone in danger. I'm so sorry. Any of them gets hurt, I will never forgive myself. I'll take my hand and squeeze it. A simple gesture does wonders to calm my nerves. Don't be too hard on yourself, Viviana. We've told you already, we want to help you. We're in this together. Nice musical plays in the background. It's right. I am not sure if there is much Rod and William or I could do, but we definitely support you until the end. Before I may have cringed at her words, but now Ophelia has nothing to gain from pretending. Mother is right. We're a family, and we will not abandon you. Ophelia and Emmeline are both smiling at me warmly. Even Rod seems to have a ghost of smile on his face. Thank you. I apologize for bringing this up, Karma, but is it possible to ask for reinforcements from Brigantia? Brigantia? That is one of our neighboring kingdoms. We have never had close ties, mostly because Brigantia's king tends to stay away from our personal and political affairs. They have always refused to engage in any sort of violent affairs. We all look at Karma, who stands there looking sullen. After a few moments, he lets out a desperate sigh. Want me to ask the kingdom of Brigantia for help? I remember Karma mentioning before that he was part of the noble family, but I did not expect him to be from Brigantia. What is he doing here? And how could he possibly ask for help from a king? The king does not participate in battles or skirmishes. It seems unlikely that he would provide support. Wouldn't provide assistance, not even if his own son asked him? Son? You mean? Karma crosses his arms and sighs. Well, I suppose there's no use hiding it anymore. Yes, I am the son of King Clement and of Brigantia. Judging from the sudden quiet in the room, it seems that Parfait, Laura, Waltz, and the knights were the only ones that knew. You're the Lost Prince? The Lost Prince? Gennaro told me that the King Clement's oldest son had disappeared just a year ago. There were circumstances. My family never knew I had a fairy tale curse. I was forced to leave my kingdom so that I could come here and break my curse. He came to Angel to break his curse? His eyes wandered slowly to me, but then he focused once more on the conversation. To answer your question though, no, I do not believe my father would send help. He hasn't heard from me since I left a year ago, and he would most likely think me some kind of imposter unless I showed up at the kingdom's doorstep. Even then, he would have too many questions. He would never get the help we were seeking in time. It seems we can't rely on them for help then. And we all turned and stared at Anise. But finally the Anise has suddenly appeared at Martian. What magic is this? Actually, I just came back. I'm sorry for startling you all, but I found this, and I had to bring it back. A smile fades as she pulls out a flyer for us to see. Announcement? From the look of it, 4 days from now on, Alcazar will make a speech about the changes that are to open in Angel. Changes. It doesn't sound very promising. It means bad news, but it may be worthwhile to take a look. It might give us some insight into what's happening at the palace. Hillary is still in hiding, but it seems very likely she could be involved in all of this somehow. They could be plotting something special for that day. Carl and I can just go to the event then. We'll make sure not to stand out. I am coming too. Okay, time to end here. Okay, and now it's time for us to rate someone. So, who do we want to rate? So we can rate Seal, Cell, but I think Cell is going for longer. Wait, let me change screen though. Live on. I don't know, I've never read it before. Yep. I want to. Oh, switches back to normal. Okay. Oh, this is only for 4 hours. I want to read some. I don't know who. How long is Marin? Isn't Marin John streaming today? See Marin's schedule. 6 p.m. Going to. They have it on the schedule. Where is it on the schedule? So I'm trying to stream though because I know I don't like to be late. I know Corona doesn't like to stream schedule. I didn't show any signs. to go to marriage and to return, I'm just going to virtual use. Search on Cronus Baldur's Gate 6 p.m. Yeah, journal. So this is the old schedule. Didn't post anything on Twitter today. You can just say. I'm probably just going to read Cell. I don't want to raid Cell because I already raided her yesterday. I plan to raid Fee next week. So I don't want to raid Fee today because of that. I see someone playing Dreamlight Valley. And I never raid him. Oh, they're going for 1 hour. But raid, I'm not going to raid again. But I don't feel like. It's on. But I feel like I read it till not so long ago. Lovely. Wait, I'm mistaking her with other. Do you want to read something? Because I see someone that I haven't read before, and I know them from Scottish. Yeah, let's just read them. I want to go to sleep. I need to. So maybe that should be 3. Here is a red master for Lisa, for who isn't so, the red master going to be this one. Yes, so I can. Oh my god, please tell me. Oh, for a moment I thought that I had unfollowed. That is for mistake while trying to copy the anyway, October. So yeah, thank you so much for everyone who joined me today. I really appreciate it. And I'll be back on Sunday with what? I don't know. So see you on Sunday. Bye bye.